Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Super Mario Odyssey any percent tournament here on GSA. We are in the losers round 5, and we have Rails versus Dansta today. And I am co-commentating with Bad Ronis. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm just starting like kind of my little holiday trip and stuff, but I had a bit of time today, and I'm really happy to be commentating this race. It's going to be a bit of a banger, I would say. Dansta trying to break into that like really top level, trying to get that 101. Just hitting the call, he just got a 10036 summit best, so below the world record. Definitely a very good player, known for his like 219 cap kingdoms and all that kind of stuff. So really nuts player here in Rhea. Nothing more needs to be said. The young gun out here getting insane times all over the place. Definitely one of the elite runners of the game. So I think this could go either way. I would say slightly edging it to Rhea, but I mean, who can tell? This is a crazy tournament. You've seen so many things happen so far. I can only hope that we get some more of that in store today.
And I think Dansta actually has a 101 now. I think he PB'd like yesterday or the day before. So that's
wasn't it a 10148?
Yeah, something like that. I know he has a 101 now.
Yeah, 10148. Sorry, I thought that was like someone else and not Dansta. But yeah, Dansta recently getting that 101. Just say whatever I took and put in the past tense, breaking into that 101 kind of elite club. So I can't wait. We are getting the countdown from Cheese, Restreamer, and Dad today, and we're gonna get this one underway.
Yep, both runners are starting off here in the Cap Kingdom.
Actually, before we start, I do want to mention Vi.gg, our sponsor for this one, and I'm sure you've heard it all already, but our 70 Star, Super Metroid, and Odyssey current tournaments going on. They're sponsored by Vi.gg, who hosts some online PvP betting in a kind of safe and secure environment. So if you're of legal age and it's legal where you live, go check them out.
Yep, for sure.
This one started. Get the ball rolling, as you say, because there's a lot of rolling in Cap Kingdom, as evidenced by the first inputs.
The little first thing you do in the game.
Yeah. Both of them going for that quick spin pound, getting into the rolls, using that hill for a bit of, angle adjustment here. Dansta off to a very small lead. Definitely got this Cap Kingdom part down pat, but not much of a difference.
Yep, both runners entering into the frog room right now.
Yeah, not too much. You can kind of see the kind of vector quality that they've got today. Sometimes people won't go for that, like, strict of vectors, but Dansta busting them out. Ray as well. They're top players. They will save those. I'm actually not sure how much, like, a good vector saves, but definitely at least a few tens. Left side coming out for Dansta here. Triple jump. That's a really nice position. That cap bounce, really nice as well. No problem. Rhea also getting it. And Rhea making quick work of Topper here. A boss that they've done so many times. Hitting that. Oh, Rhea taking a bit of damage though. Not as good as he would have liked, but not too bad. Just a couple seconds left. Dansta with a very clean Cap Kingdom. No mistakes. How does my mic sound, by the way?
You're fine.
Okay.
Looks like Dansta got a 220 cap. Jeez, that's insane. Yeah. And 223 from Rails.
Dansta definitely flexing that early game, but 223, not a bad cap either. Just a couple minor errors. And both of them on that 1.0, being able to go for the first moon skip. Dansta coming up for it here. Nice to see this kind of new, quote, wet FMS method. A bit more consistent as well. And very nice for racers especially. And so also coming up here to the T-Rex, where you're getting his first moon skip as well. Maybe a little bit slower than Dansta.
I don't think it was slower. I think Rail Stream is just a bit behind right now.
Okay. Yeah, you might see some kind of frame dropping, I guess. Yeah, we'll see. Like, Ray's timer is actually about 5 seconds behind, or like 4. So it's not as big of a lead as it looks. It's pretty slight.
Yeah, I think they're still probably about 2 to 3 seconds apart. Okay, yeah. She's our restreamer fixed everything up. Look at that. Beautiful. They're synced again.
There we go. And both of them taking out Madame Brutal. Gonna grab that Grand Moon, Multi-Moon, Triple Moon, whatever you want to say. So, just watching this ordinary cutscene. You know, it's pretty cool when you do it for the first time and you hear like the guitar solo out of nowhere. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. But, you know, old news to everybody, I'm sure. We just have 2 more moons left to get in Cascade, which will be on top of like a hill, and the chest moon, which will be followed up by a quick clip to get faster movement back to the Odyssey. And so we're going to see Dansta coming back into the spin pound roll, not bonking at all, clean movement up to this moon. Rhea, probably you would expect him to have clean movement as well, and there he goes, nice and clean. No issues at all in these first 2 splits from Dansta. Off to a nice lead. Rhea taking a bit of setup for this clip, and I think he's got it. No, he's okay.
Yeah,
Actually, Rhea losing a couple seconds.
Yeah, I was gonna say that didn't look like it was a clip to me. Not a big deal at all, though. Both runners now moving on to the Sand Kingdom.
Yeah, Sand is definitely where we can see some bigger time losses happen. Some lead changes are pretty likely. Dansta has like a really good early game, so I'd say like up through Sand, he's probably feeling very solid. You know, probably like Wooded is probably the biggest place to look for, and before the kind of mid game to see the lead change. But we could see some mixed Sphinx clips, a missed dram, some sloppy movement around like the notes per se, for example, rather. So we'll see if Dansta can pull out a clean Sand Kingdom and stay ahead of Reyes in the early game.
Yeah, hopefully he can.
All right, entering Sand here. Both of them gonna be going for the. Well, I guess like the first moon in Sand Kingdom hasn't changed at all. Like in the like whole evolution of routing here. Getting the one in the little like. I don't even know. It's almost like a bell tower, but it's a moon and not a bell. For the beginning of Sand isn't really that complicated. You know, it's really once you get to the dram and kind of onto the like castle portion. You just see stuff really start to heat up here, even though it is a bit cold out here in Sand. You never really fix that problem. You leave it cold. It's more of a world peace thing. Dansta already up to get this moon on top of the sand dune. A bit tricky if you gotta like be fairly accurate with your positioning. It's not a perfect visual cue. Rhea getting it first try as well. Dansta come up here to get the one on top of the archway. Going to be setting up for the dram. Definitely a more difficult strat. But these people are no stranger to it at this point. You know, they're so experienced. And so going for that up throw. And he just got home and on the bullet bill here. Let's see what he's got. No problem whatsoever. Be right on that bullet bill all the way out to this only pillar. Rhea having a bit of trouble, like you said.
Yeah, Rail was not getting the backflip there and got a long jump instead because he had too much momentum. And then not getting the shadow.
Okay.
Rail was not having the platform cycle he wanted there, so he wasn't able to home into the bullet bill.
Okay, we're having a bit of trouble getting up here now. Okay, actually a good backup there to get the bullet bill anyway, but losing a bit more time over Dansta, who has not provided any openings at all to Ray in the beginning portions of this race. You know, he's been rock solid. First try Sphinx clip as well. He's hot. Usually people go for the moon, then throw for the coins. I don't know if that really made much of a difference.
What Dansta's doing here is he's going for double swing clip, so he's gonna do 2 clips right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're coming up on his first Sphinx clip. You know, he'll probably go for double, but you know, single clip, you know, wouldn't be that bad either. Double clip doesn't save as much time as the first clip. And so grabbing that moon here, coming into the kind of cycle part, you know, getting the Jaxi skip and going all the way to the Oasis with the bird. You have to make it in a reasonable amount of time so that you'll be able to grab the bird moon and the tiny sand dune moon at the same time. Bring the chest as well. Let's see what his coin count is going to be. Once it pops back up here in a second, we will know. 140, 150, 163. So plenty of coins for Dansta.
He's definitely gonna have to get some coins somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he just has to keep an eye on his coin counter there.
We're getting that Jack skip as well, Dansta. Wrapping up with a nice early bird cycle. Actually having to kind of land and then reset his movement. Sometimes if you're not as early, you'll get it with just a normal capo from the first moon. Going for notes here, a bit tricky. It's possible to get it in a single spin throw, but pretty rare. Dansta, pretty clean though. And Rhea a bit behind, you know, not drastically, but a considerable lead for Dansta. You know, with that really strong early game, he's going to be feeling good about himself. Maybe he can ride this wave of confidence a bit. Rhea, definitely more seasoned, probably has a lot more mid and late game experience at a high level. So he has a good, like a really good chance to make up a lot of this time. So like, I can't really even speak of how we'll even look after Metro, but at least right now, Dansta is out front.
Yeah, Dansta having a very good early game here. One of the best I've seen in a long time. Especially in a race.
That's ridiculous. That's like Equan level. Rip Equan.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Rayo, now like he didn't really miss much. It was just a couple like, well, actually he missed the jam. That was actually the biggest thing. You know, not really great Sphinx clips and missed the chest clip as well in the Cascade. So just a couple like minor errors. And Tylotex and Dansta is good on coins. So throughout Lake and Wooded, he'll certainly be able to pick up like, well, he's got like all the way till snow, so a good chance to pick up what he needs. Probably no late clip. You can kind of be a nut if you pulled it off in the GSA race, but who knows? They could try.
Yeah, we've seen that clip in races before here on GSA, so it's not too extreme to go for it at this point.
Yeah, but Dansta, maybe if he was having like a terrible early game, he would do it, but like no sense in like breaking your stride now. You know, you got the confidence, you got the rhythm. As soon as you mess something up, it's like, oh, I'm mortal. I can make mistakes, and then you kind of might lose some of that hot streak you've been on. So Dansta, go with the tried and true Lake route. Very simple. Not much you can really lose a bunch of time to outside of the Rango fight, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure.
Equan's his internet died, and there was no way for him to even contact us to let him know that his internet was down and he couldn't race. So he also couldn't play today, so we just advanced Rhea, unfortunately. That's why he's playing Dansta in this round.
Ooh, Dansta having some trouble with Rango. That's very unfortunate. It's always the worst whenever you mess up this boss.
See, at least he's gonna recover. Needs one last hit, and he'll get that at least. But probably the first mistake I've even seen him make, like 1008 sand. There was like, that was pretty much flawless. You probably hear some dogs barking. I see who's it? I think it's a Brisquat. I hear his dogs a lot.
Rayo is having some trouble with that fish jump there. Let's see if Rails can have a better Rango than
Can we get some
Dansta.
Frankers in chat? Yeah, this is definitely the first opening he's had to make up some time over Dansta, and looks like he'll pull it off a little bit. So probably saving a bit of time in the lake. I'm not actually sure what the lead was out of sand, but whereas we didn't have a perfect lake either, but a little bit better than Dansta. So on to wooded, the kind of big daddy kingdom, you know, decides a lot of early game paces. And in high level PB attempts, it's do or die in a race. Might not be do or die, but it's very drastic. If one person can get up perfectly and the other one messes up, you can get upwards of 20 seconds of a lead change.
Yeah, for sure. If one of the runners messes up nut clip like at all, that can definitely be a huge lead change.
Well, I'm gonna mute my dogs real quick. Actually, not my dogs. Actually, I can mute my dogs. Sorry, there's no button. Shoutouts to Halo Child. Okay, done with lake. You know, pretty lax kingdom. Wooded is intense. It's the calm before the storm here. Wooded's a pretty fun kingdom as well, but very painful to mess up.
Ooh, dancing in that first person shot there. I like that.
Nice. You probably also see a first-person strat to get the first shot moon. Saves a little bit of transition time between loading the cutscene for the kind of friendly robot guy. I don't know if they have official names. People who tend the flowers.
Okay, let's see if what Dancer can do with this nut clip here. This looks like a good clip. Yeah, he's out of bounds. Moving on to the out of bounds section here. Let's see if we can do this flawlessly here. Ooh, struggling with this wall jump a little bit, but he gets it. Ooh, no!
Oh, can dance to recover. He's falling down. Can he save it?
Oh no. Oh my god, he saved it.
Now he's got to get out.
Oh my god, he got it. Okay. That was very close. That could have ended very badly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Monka S. Dansta kind of hanging on for dear life, but he's able to do it in the end. We're going for his knuckle now. He's in. A lot of time to save on his out of bounds movement. Probably the most difficult part of this segment. Going for that moon here. What's he got? First
oh no.
try. No, he's fallen. He's fallen. What's he going to do? Can he get back up?
Okay, he got back up.
Taking a bit of time over Dansta anyway, but not really capitalizing here again. Second or third try rather, getting the moon. I don't really know how much time Dansta lost, so probably a little bit faster from Rhea, but not much. Both of them kind of lucky to be even at least on a reasonable pace here, at least getting the out of bounds moon and the corresponding movement. But Dansta still in a pretty good lead. So wow, a lot of nail biters early on here, but living up to its reputation.
Yeah, that could have gone so much worse for both runners there. That was definitely good that they didn't die or fall into deep woods. And Dansta going to be setting up for FRS after this cutscene ends. This is definitely a risky trick. If he fails this could definitely be a lead change for sure.
Yeah, at this level, you know, you'd expect him to go for it, but it's very difficult. Only saves like 2 seconds. See, he's got that triple jump off of the fences. Looks good. Nice angle from Dansta as well. Getting that road skip.
Getting that roll cancel jump too. I like that.
Nice.
Very clean movement from Dansta.
Yeah, Rhea just now getting the story moon from the prawn plant. Recently you started with Limikey Founder, you could get a moon high up in a tree to save about a second, but it's kind of hard to save time with. Hopefully we see people start doing it in the near future.
I know,
kind of cool.
I know Fur goes for it in his run, so that's at least one runner. And he's like top 5, I think.
I think Fur's like, I want to say he's like 9th or something. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like 101 something, like a mid or low 101. I forget what his PB is off the top of my head.
Dansta struggling with the spirit skip here, but he manages to jump off the platform. Okay, got the buffer jump, and he should be good here for the spirit skip as long as he's able to do the fast pipes and get this nut here. Okay, got the nut. And gonna be moving on to fast pipes now.
Yeah, the floater pipeway is kind of interesting part of Odyssey. You know, there's usually like tons of different strats. You could go for like some fancy roll, cancel, spin pounds. All these kind of
Oh,
like
no.
different optimizations, safe rooms. But in the flooded pipeway, there's really only one. Wait, what happened to Rhea? What did he say? Oh no about?
I think Dansta messed up the flood pipeway cycle here. He didn't get the long jump at the beginning. You can see he's struggling a little bit here. But he's gonna have a. It looks like he might have a clean backup. No, he's just gonna have to wait out the cycle.
Wow.
That definitely lost him a lot of time. So
Yeah, Rhea with a big opportunity here.
Yeah, for sure. Like messing up that cycle, it doesn't seem like it loses that much, but that's definitely like 10 or 15 gone if you mess it up that badly.
Well, thanks for the info, Tyler Tech. Shout out. In the chat here, Rhea gonna be grabbing his first minute in the pipeway. Let's see if he can save those cycles over Dansta. Now, I was saying earlier that Wooded is a kind of where the early game ends and the real mid game, you know, kicks off. And Rhea showing his experience here, saving a bit of time over Dansta. Dansta is still in the lead though. It's got to be said. He's played really well. No, except for that like really sloppy out of bounds in the floated pipeway. So let's see. Lost, you know, it's a short kingdom, but a lot can go wrong. That's probably a good way to think about it. You never know what can happen.
We're moving on to Cloud.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, I almost thought like Cloud is a given. You know, like probably not an extra cycle lost in Cloud, but you know it could happen. Commentator getting a bit too ahead of himself.
Okay, let's see what Dansta can do here with this first cycle. Okay, getting the instant hat capture and going to be going for the Bowser manip, making him jump the least amount of platforms just to speed up this fight just a little bit. Okay, let's see what Reyes can do with this Bowser fight here.
Good Bowser minute from Dansta. Making damage as well to make the cap though a bit easier. Alright. So solid from Dansta. You know, no issues to speak of. And Rhea not gonna be able to save any time here at least. Gonna have to wait for Lost Metro, etc.
Yeah. Rio's not being too far behind. He's probably only like 20 or so seconds behind Dansta.
Yeah.
So if Dansta just makes one mistake,
what's happening with Rhea? Did he like? It almost feel like his controller disconnected for a second. He was kind of like standing there in silence, like not able to actually perform inputs. I'm not really sure what was going on for his end. You know, it's not really an internet issue. It's just like him not shaking or something. But yeah, Rhea missing kind of a silly way to lose time. Probably not too happy about that. I don't really know what happened. You could ask him after the race.
Reyes just said in the group chat that his controller just like disconnected. So I don't know. That's really strange. I've never seen that happen before.
I mean, Dansta is off to a pretty nice loss. Getting the moon on the Lone Tree branch can be scary. Now let's see what he's got. You know, getting a bit tripped up for that moon, but not too bad. Now we're gonna be playing that Cappy break free the moon and getting the second one a bit below the surface. So 2 moons left. We can see if he wants to go for the actual pro triple jump strat or if he wants to play it safe. He's playing it safe, going into the cage slash, you know, tunnel in the rock face. So definitely trying to keep some consistency going.
And Dansta able to save himself there. If Rails chose to go for the cage triple here, you can make up some time on Dansta for sure. Let's see if he opts to go for cage triple here. Yeah, it does look like he's yeah,
oh no!
Yeah, he didn't get enough momentum there. That's why that strat is very difficult. If you don't get enough momentum, you're just gonna plummet to your death right there. Very, very unfortunate for Reyes. Looks like he has some idea on how to back this up, though.
I guess so.
Yeah, choosing to go for this Stone Cave Moon here, and then going to be going for the Moon under the bridge, probably. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It's a really unfortunate way to die to that as well. Like, the bullet bill actually blew him up rather than the cage.
Ooh, that was a good save from Dansta there. Dansta not getting the triple jump he wants there, but realizing it quick enough to jump back on the platform and not die there. Very quick thinking from Dansta, I like that.
Yeah, ran considerably more of a deficit than he was when they went into Lost. You know, we were kind of saying like he could kind of make up some time, get back into this, but Dansta's actually pulling ahead. This should be huge to take Rhea down. Like, one of the top racers, seed 3 in this tournament. You know, Dansta on the up and up, but you know, Rhea's always been strong, always been a really good racer. So this could be a really shocking turn of events if Dansta was to win. You know, I wouldn't really quite say if it would be an upset, but it would be a great feather in his cap for sure to be able to move this far in the GSA tournament. I think after this is like lower bracket finals, or at least lower bracket semis or something like that. So they can get very far in this tournament. So Rhea, the pressure's on. You know, he can't be slipping up anymore in this mid game. MSSL is really key, you know, of course, but it is do or die at someone. You know, if you miss a snow jam, then that could spell like real disaster. And so in the meantime,
Yeah.
getting onto his Mecha Wiggler.
And on the other token, if Dansta messes up anything, that could definitely change the lead and put Rails back in the lead. Okay, Dansta finishing up this Mecha Wiggler like running around phase here, and he's gonna be able to attempt to kill the Wiggler here in 2 cycles.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It does depend a little bit on the pattern, one of the few instances of RNG. But as long as the Wiggler isn't kind of overlapping himself too much, like this is a pretty solid pattern, you know, just stay in one place, firing away, getting all of the bulbs hit, and he's going to finish off Mecha Wiggler. So Rhea only now going to start the fight, so a pretty decent deficit for him, not insurmountable at all, but you know, Dance has definitely been the better player so far in this race.
Yeah, Dansta's pulled off an incredible run so far. Like, there's not even been one big mistake from Dansta yet, really. Like, the only thing I can think of so far is that hiccup in Lake with Rango, but even then, that's not even big at all.
I think there's well, like, it was very nearly a
Yeah.
terrible mistake, but the out of bounds and Wooded, I think, was like
Yeah.
so nerve-wracking for both of them. I can't believe they actually were both able to back it up.
Yeah, but like I said, that's not even that huge. He probably lost maybe 10 to that, so just showing that he's really just playing really solid this race.
So we see Dance starting off his day Metro, getting 1 moon inside the girders, but coming up to Scoot Clip. You know, some things where, or sometimes, people can kind of take laps around the cage, not able to get it, or even try to take their secret. Let's see what Dance has got. Really nice Scoot Clip, by the way. No hesitation, not even a quick setup on the edge of the cage. So, really clean, not giving any openings. In the meantime, has wrapped up his Mecha Wiggler. No problemo.
Dansta talking with the benchman there, getting a moon from him. Seeing how his day going.
I wonder how he came by that moon. You know, Mario has to do some pretty outlandish things to win some of them, but this guy kind of had it in his pocket. You know, not really like glowing in any way, but you never know. People just pick up power moons. I guess they're just laying all around the city. So Dance is coming to talk to Pauline, getting a couple of the musicians. While Rhea is just starting his day Metro segment.
Yeah, let's Rails controller disconnecting again.
Wow. Maybe a bit low on batteries, a bit sweaty hands maybe. Who knows? Rhea looking for a bit more of a consistent setup on the cage, but we'll get the clip first try, which is the important part. Heading up to the trash moon, as we call it.
Yeah,
So
and
go ahead.
I was gonna say Dansta is about to finish up this early musicians part of the route and then move on to the skyscraper portion.
Yeah. We had a little like Bong trying to talk to the guy on the bench. So we'll see Dansta kind of going up to the top of the skyscraper, like you were saying earlier. Rhea has a bit of ways to go before he is at the point of Metro where Dansta is right now. Gonna have to do both these musicians as well as Pauline. Bit of like talking and cut scenes. But you know, only about what is that, 4 moons behind?
Yeah.
So getting a nice. Okay. I was just saying Dancer was getting a nice drop down onto the kind of moon with the swinging like lumbar whatever beam. Alright, so Dancer, let's see if he wants to go for a spin hunt off the top of here. Yes, he does. Oh, but he missed the moon. I think I actually saw, it must have been him or someone else, like missed it as well, but so getting back up there, not using the 10th even. Yeah, a bit of a strange time loss. Bunking on the fence. You know, not too confident. Maybe a bit scared of heights, you know, being up here. No bullseye either.
Yeah, Dansta is having some spaghetti movement right here for a little bit, but looks like he's back in it.
Alright, only a few moons left for Dansta. This crowded walkway seems to just kind of roll along the right side, kind of jostling people away. But he gets it. You know, it is on the cycle, so if you make too many mistakes, you could actually miss the moon. But, you know, you usually don't see it at this level. And Dansta is all done with Metro, so he's got about 5 moons left to get, I think. Yeah, that's 5. Maybe he can save some time, because this is where Dansta made his mistakes.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's not going to help, though. Rhea. A quick little bonk. Gonna have to reclimb part of this tower. Not opting for the spin pound, but we'll get the moon, so saving time regardless. And not bonking.
Yeah, it looks like Dansta is going to be moving on to the Snow Kingdom here.
It would appear so. Although, actually, no, never mind. Ray's almost done with Metro, so I don't. What would you say the lead is? Maybe like 30, 40?
Yeah, something around there. If Dansta messes up Snow Jam here at the end of Snow, that could definitely change the lead for sure.
Yeah, Rhea, not off to a great pace. You know, you usually see people with like low 30s, even like high 29s at a world record pace level. But Rhea, it's going to be about 2 minutes behind that. Probably looking to get like a 103 or something. So Dansta, probably not on PB pace, but like actually, like he's not ahead of his PB, but it's probably still possible. Like his best possible time is definitely better than a 101.48, if I had to guess.
Yeah, for sure.
I was gonna say on. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Dansta grabbing that crate moon there, and we can see Dansta opting to do Snow Jam, not grabbing the shot moon right here.
Yeah. Bit of a message of intent here. He's not holding back. He might know that Ray is a good bit behind, but it doesn't matter to Dansta. He wants to play his game, and sometimes that's really important. If you try to make compromises and cut away from yourself, you'll actually make more mistakes because you're not as familiar with what you're doing. But he's confident in Snow Jam, so we'll see if it pays off for him. First, he's got to nail a couple of these side rooms a bit slow, but you know, Snow doesn't have a bunch of moons laying out in the open. You kind of have to go through these side rooms in Severia. Gonna nab this blowy Joey. In a bit of time to go kill the Spinies, but not too so. We're entering Severia, so a few moons behind still. You know, Dansta has not really lost a lot of that lead since. Well, actually, I guess he made up a lot of it and lost because of Rhea's death, which is like really tragic. Which is why he's really having to battle back into this one. We're also going for Snow Jam, not getting that shot moon yet. Dansta has plenty of coins though when he does. And I don't know how many coins Rhea has. We'll see in just a second here. 98, so he can grab 2 more and have plenty to get the shot moon as well. And so in this kind of slippery, icy side room. You know, not.
Oh,
Well,
oh my god, how did that work? That is ridiculous.
wow. Dansta, you know, making the sweat in the booth here, turning up the heat. You know, it might be the middle of winter, but maybe it's a cold sweat. Who knows? Dansta did survive the falling ice block. Did kind of clip him up through it. You know, thanks to Mario physics, he did not lose a monstrous amount of time to kind of a very minor mistiming or misdirection or something, whatever you want to call it. So Dansta counting his lucky stars will actually be able to go to Snow Jam. Or whatever. Of course he was gonna go to Snow Jam anyway. On a good snow, I guess.
Yeah, and Rayo's moving on to the Goomba room here. While Dansta warping to the Odyssey to set up for Snow Jam.
Alright, big moment here. Dansta, the fate of the race is in his hand. All on this jump. Dive, or not dive, but holding off Cappy, and he makes Snow Jam first try. That's huge.
Yeah, for sure. That definitely could have changed the lead if he didn't get that quickly.
The new BTT came out like 2 weeks ago. You can find on LimCube's channel, or it's probably like in all the Mario Odyssey resources that you can find anywhere. It was a 5820. So we're coming up to the Shop Moon and Snow Jam. You know, Dansta, he's had this lead for a while, but he's maintained it ever since Cap. Ray has made a few mistakes, but Dansta has had to play a pretty solid game, despite the things that Ray has done.
Yeah, Rayo's moving on to Snow Jam right now. If he doesn't get this trick, this could spell disaster for him and almost guarantee a loss for him. So he really has to buckle down and get this trick first try.
Alright, Rhea with the camera set up. There he goes. Can he get enough height? There he goes. First try Snow Jam. Clean.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want to see here in this race. Both runners getting this very difficult trick first try.
Alright, so in Seaside now, Dansta got 2 moons already, going for his 3rd. Oh, messing up a little bit. This moon's pretty tricky. The depth perception is a bit off in this room as well. It looks almost 2D, but you can't miss it being too far forward or backwards. Dansta getting it on the backup though. In danger of losing quite a bit of unnecessary time, but holds it together. You know, some things like that where Seaside might not be the hardest kingdom, but you can really let yourself go a little bit, you know, if you're not careful. And so going for Rocket Power Storage here. A bit of a more advanced strat, but people are pretty confident with it nowadays, it seems. What's he got? Ground pounding. That looks good. Here he goes.
And Rayo's entering the Seaside Kingdom here. Okay, getting a very clean beginning.
Dansta onto the cheap section. It is like a very different method of just like moving. It's a bit more like more Mars. Oh, missing the tunnel. Like a second or so time loss there. But it is just kind of timing your movements and getting good angles. It's not to do with very fast or tricky movement at all at this point. It's kind of just about smoothness and the cheap part. Right, getting that moon in the kind of cliff wall better than Dansta. Saving a little bit of time.
Okay, let's see if Rails opts to go for Rocket Fire refresh here. And he does, getting the first part of it. Let's see if he's able to get the second part and pull off this trick here. Looks good to me. Looks like he got the Rocket Flower refresh, and he's going to be able to use the Rocket Flower to run across the water instead of capturing the Gushin.
Looks like his flower also lasted a bit long. You saw Dansta actually run out of his Rocket Flower refresh before he was able to capture the second Rocket Flower. Rhea didn't even stop in the water at all. Very clean transition from the Rocket Flower refresh to the second one. So saving a bit of time here. Dansta, 5 seconds might not seem that much, but like in Seaside, that's a pretty huge margin for Rhea. It can't be disappointed if he can actually save this good amount of time if he doesn't make any more mistakes. So finishing up with Seaside, and Luncheon is on the way. The Big L Kingdom. A lot of things can go wrong. A lot of deaths are possible. A lot of difficult jumps and constant threats from enemies, lava, and just difficult movement. So somewhere you could definitely see a big time loss.
Yeah, and Dan's still going to be setting up for the Salt Show jump here right at the beginning. Let's see if he's able to get this. Look, this looks good to me if he can get the cap bounce. Perfect, and making it up there. While Rails is leaving the Seaside Kingdom now.
Alright, so Ray is just exiting Seaside. Make up a bit of time over Dansta. He's going to need a bit more of that luncheon. Could be what provides, bringing home the bread, as it were. But Dansta, it's kind of eating it up, taking care of Spirit. No problem. Spirit seems like probably the easier, brutal of the bunch. What would you say about that?
Yeah, I agree. Spirit is not very difficult. As you can see, Dansta killing Spirit very easily there. No problems at all.
Yeah, the story moon cutscene takes so long that people are looking for ways to route out Spirit. There's like the Brunchin hypothetical route, not very well. It's not viable yet, but there's a bit of opportunities in the future. We've cut out a lot of these brutal fights just because of how long they take. Wooded, we've skipped Spirit. Lake, we've skipped Ringo with Lake Clip, but now in Luncheon we could find a way to skip Spirit at some time in the future, lower that time even more. But currently, it is probably the only breather. Oh, Rhea taking 2 burns down to 1 HP. That was very...
Yeah, he could have very easily died there for sure. But lucky he's alive, and he's moving on to the Spirit fight now. Apparently we're seeing Super Mario 64 now.
Okay. Cheese, watching the young prodigy Benji practice some lava boost. Luncheon is like the lava level in Mario Odyssey, but it is like a bit it's a bit in disguise, right? Like it's like poisonous, like Pepto-Bismol or whatever you want to say, or like icing or something like that. Cheese is showing a bit of bias here. Only cared about Odyssey for a week, and now he's trying to BM the whole community. Just kidding. Now the screens are synced. We might have lost Dance's feed, and we might get it back at some point. Hopefully, we can sort it out. Yeah, in the meantime, they are not synced. Dance is still in the lead. Rhea did just finish the Spirit fight. Dance is probably in kind of the midsection, like on his way to the kind of lava islands where you kind of capture the Podobo. Not quite in Fork's room. Trying to take care. Oh, Rhea with a bit of a bonk. Thankfully, the cycle will save him from a bit of a bum burner in the lava, but more time lost. He doesn't want to make it luncheon. You know, we don't know how Dance is doing, but Rhea is really, really sloppy right now. Not on his A game for sure.
Yeah, Dansta really needs to pick up this game if he wants to have any chance of winning this race. Or Rails, my bad.
Okay, so Dansta is now entering. Oh, he's already done with Forks Room. Okay, so with a sizable lead over Rhea, probably having a cleaner luncheon, although I don't have the expertise to tell exactly. But now we're coming up to Turnip Clip, someplace where you could actually see a major time loss. Starts with the throw. Bit of a Kobe there. That's really nice. Like, as long as he gets a bit more to the right of the turnip, we'll see if that works. And it does.
Yeah. Definitely a nice turnip clip from Dansta there. And Rails moving on to the Forks Room in just a second here.
He's mentioning in chat that we were trying to get ready for the following race, but Dan's stream actually cut out, so it kind of showed the stuff that Cheese was trying to do behind the scenes. So all good. You know, probably not a splice from Dan stuff. Probably. I'm just messing around. But in the meantime, trying to take care of his Forks Room, you know, something where you could die, that would probably, like, it would be really hard to come back from failed Forks Room, but Rhea at least gets it. And this is the man.
Yeah, not good at all. But Dansta moving on to the meat here, going to be capturing the meat and then going to be finishing off the kingdom here. While Rails has about, I would say, like a quarter of a kingdom left.
Yeah. Okay. Dansta is all done with luncheon. Rhea is going to take care of the turn clip. And just a couple more things. It's almost over for him, but Dansta has saved a bit more time. Probably more than he lost in Seaside, you know. It's down to Bowser, stuff like Shards, Mech. Probably the biggest obstacles left for Dansta, but you know, if he was able to hold it together at this point, he's got a pretty sizable lead out. A couple minor errors won't be the decider. It'll be if he makes something big happen, like a fall on Mech or a death, something like that, where it really lets Rhea back into this race because Dansta's been playing, like outside of like just a couple things, he's been playing out of his mind, been looking like an elite runner out here, trying to take a massive scalp. That is reyalsdiorteM here, a Metroid Slayer backwards, but just goes by Rhea. But yeah, I mean, quite a storyline it would be for Dansta, you know, coming into this tournament, probably doing so much better than anyone would have expected.
Yeah, for sure. This is an incredible run for Dansta here. But Dansta moving on to the Ruined Kingdom here. And we're starting up the Dragon boss fight. There's nothing much that can go wrong here at all. This is just kind of like the Intermission Kingdom. Nothing, just a basic dragon fight, and that's it.
Yeah, I do want to address in chat that the streams aren't perfectly synced right now, so Rhea isn't quite as far behind as he does look. In the Ruin fight, you know, don't want to see a death here. Would be probably the most tragic thing that could happen in this run. Probably like a 1% chance that it happens, if that. And most of the time, it's just like a bit of a walk in the park, to be honest. But you know, you never want to assume. She's going ahead and resyncing those streams. We have that here representation of where they are. James taking care of the first Ruin phase. Rhea on his way up, so probably almost a minute lead for Dansta.
Yeah, for sure. Dansta going to be moving on to the final phase of the dragon, I believe, right here. Or I think there actually might be one more.
This is phase 2, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I wasn't quite sure.
Alright, so what's to report at this point? You can go ahead and shout out our sponsors once again, Vi.gg, who's posted betting. You know, maybe you were betting on this match. You know, would you think Ray would take it, being the the kind of favorite with the most tenure at the top level, or would you take a risk, go bet on the underdog Dansta? You know, you could put your money where your mouth is, so to speak, and check out our sponsor by typing in bet in the chat, or checking out the little button on our Twitch page to take you to their website. That's about it. Dansta is all wrapped up with Ruined. Ray has got 2 phases left to do. You know, something not extremely difficult to deal with, but a lot of time to make up in Bowser's if he wants to win.
Yeah, both runners, Dan's still gonna be moving on to the Bowser's Kingdom now, and Rail's still got a little bit of a dragon fight left before he can move on.
We can probably see what kind of lead we have after Ruined. It's grabbing the Odyssey at 48.34. We are probably close to a minute behind. We'll see what the actual time is. A lot of hype in the chat to try to see what Dan's pace is. I'd like to know as well if anyone is like a bit of an authority on this. Please let me know. If Dan's is on like a 102, a high 101. He's behind his PB. At least we can tell from his splits. So probably not a 101, but I'm curious to know like what his kind of best possible time would be at this point.
But Dan's still moving. Ooh, okay, I forgot he does that roll cancel. That's very scary. But he manages to pull it off and moving on to grab the Ogre Moon here.
So Rhea trying to take care of this last phase. Not too clean either. So Dansta looking to actually take this game if he doesn't make any colossal mistakes. This would be really insane if he did. You know, I never want to say it's over. He's got to hold it together for about, 12 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes. Somewhere in that range.
Yeah. He just has to play good for the remainder of Bowser's and then for Moon. And then he could have a victory.
Get them big Roys. Instagram and the first moon in Bowser's, they're mostly story moons, but you do have to get a couple extra on the side. This is one of those story moons, but I did not know until maybe a couple months ago that you actually had to get extra moons that weren't actually part of the story, because it really doesn't show the bar of moons where it has the empty circle showing you that you need more. It is just kind of how it is. Dansta here coming through the first couple sections of Bowser's Kingdom. I really like the aesthetic of it. It's all very surreal looking. The architecture and the landscaping is really nice. So really good level design as well. Stars coming out for Dansta here, going for those kind of optimal homing throws as well, saving a few frames for each one, so he can kind of just skirt on by. Not he's basically collecting these moons as afterthoughts as he progresses straight through the stage, coming to capture this Pokio and clean charge from Dansta. So, not even making an opening there for Rhea to capitalize on. I'm getting... Oh, that's just my phone. Sorry about that. Commentator. I don't even know. It was just an alarm.
Yeah. Dansta opting to go for Harriet first here. And Rails doing the shards portion of the Bowser's Kingdom. Looks like he has a good shard so far, but he still needs to collect 3 more. Got the 3rd one, got the 4th one, and going to be moving on to the 5th and final one where he has to capture Pokio to grab it. And looks like he got it. Good shards from Rails.
At least that went well. He probably is hoping for anything to happen, but it's really all on Dansta's shoulder. coming to the topper fight. So Dansta is a whole like Harriet and a little bit more ahead of Rhea. Or at least like whichever one Rhea goes for, he's a whole brutal ahead.
Oh no, Dansta messing up topper there, but having a very good backup, not really much of any time at all.
At least he was able to pinpoint, you know, exactly what he needed to do to get it done. Let's see, which gang Rhea is a part of? Topper first or Harriet first? Harriet, you know, seems to be the overwhelming favorite throughout this tournament. Some people are very adamant about their topper support, but I think the Harriets are kind of like it. I don't even know where I'm going with this. Just kind of the majority of people seem to prefer Harriet. Dansta onto the mech though. This is the biggest hurdle he's yet to leap over. You know, he's gotten over Nutcliffe, he's gotten over Snowdram, he's gotten over Luncheon. Now it's mech.
And yeah, like, for sure. And Dansta having to do the climb here right before he starts at mech though, but getting this crate moon very clean.
Yeah. I guess like he could die there, but I'm just saying like, the lead will probably change. If it does, it'll change on mech.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm getting a bit too ahead of myself, you know. Some of the you can kind of like fall down as a bird here. Pokio, you could miss a couple of pokes, I suppose you would call them. Like, I don't know what else to say. If you kind of miss the cycles as well. And so looking pretty clean though. And there he goes. So taking this last wire up to Bowser, where the mech fight will begin.
Yeah, this is like do or die for Dansta here. If he messes up this fight bad, this could definitely put Rails back in the lead.
Yeah, if you're watching Stravos versus Curbs, the first match.
Oh, no.
Oh, there goes Dansta off to a bad start already. This is really scary for him. He's got to figure out how to make it up.
Okay. Nice backup here from Dansta. Very close.
Back to the Stravos versus Curbs match where Stravos had quite a big lead, but he fell off the mech twice. Dansta getting the second hit on topper this time. Let's see what he's got for the second half. Alright, going for Harriet third here. Can he line up for this target acquired?
This looks good. Oh no!
He's down! Rhea is starting to finish his Pokio section. He's gonna be on the mech here, definitely behind Dansta, but he's gonna have to wait for this mech to stomp around, drop another Pokio so he can climb back up just to hit Spirit. Taking damage as well, doesn't want to even get close to dying. Ooh, nice up throw to capture Pokio a bit early here, but he's got to get all the way up the side of this mech here, very narrowly getting those grabs here. Can he take care of Spirit? There he goes. So finally getting it done. It could have been a lot worse, but mech really made us worry.
Yeah, and the race is a lot closer now because Dansta messed that up. If Rails is able to have a good mech here and finish this fight out, he could have a chance at winning if Dansta just makes one more even just small mistake.
Yeah. Especially if you miss like Moonskip, just the low gravity. It's like you have to fall all the way down and take like, you know, 5-10 seconds or something. I don't know exactly, but it is a pretty perfect thing to watch. You know, someone just hitting the Moonskip in a close race. Rhea can probably miss it once, but probably not more than that. So Dansta is on the way to the escape. Or the Moon Kingdom, rather.
Yeah, this race is a lot closer now that Dansta failed that mech fight.
It really comes down to Rhea's death in Lost Kingdom, going for that the triple jump strat for the Cage Moon and failing it, having to go all the way back when he died. There's no like backup he could have gotten in that situation, and that lost a huge amount of time. He would probably be tied, maybe even in the lead without that death. Which goes to show like the level of optimization these runners like seek out to get a couple seconds saved is really ridiculous. It's amazing how they can be so confident in themselves, but just takes one to mess up, and you can have this kind of situation happen where he's still relying on Dansta to make mistakes in Moon Kingdom.
Yeah, for sure. But Dansta about to land in the Moon Kingdom here. It is really do or die for Dansta. He has to play this kingdom really well, or else this could spell disaster for him. Oh no! Rail's controller dying! That's hilarious. That's really funny. I can't believe-
Nation of his pro controller after this race concludes, however it ends. Can only imagine. And so going for those vectors, you know, you see them with the frogs, but in Moon, you can really exaggerate them to get some extra speed because of the low gravity. The boarding cup of those moon snakes. They don't really look like living snakes, but that's what they're called apparently. Alright, Dansta, moon skip here.
Getting that like frame perfect spin pound, that was ridiculous. I don't know how I got that.
And he looks good. Oh, gonna have to reset his jump a little bit, but no problem for Dansta here. You know, it did not fail it at all. And he's into the cathedral, church, whatever you want to call it, on a nice lead. Where there's not much else he can do at this point. He can try to play a perfect moon, but he's really relying on a mistake from Dansta here.
Yeah, for sure.
Ray, missing that second rocket fire, that's going to cost him a bit more time that he really couldn't afford to lose.
Yeah, that's not good at all. It's really bad if you miss that second rocket fire because you have to do some awkward move to get on top of the Sphinx.
So just taking care of this last Bowser fight, but about the same as the Cloud one, just involving a few more hats and a little bit more punching. Not too much different in terms of mechanics. Taking those damage boosts as well to handle the cat, to get the hat grabs without worrying about positioning too much. But Dansta is kind of cleaning up this last Bowser fight. We're only about to enter it. Alright, nice hand grab from Rhea.
No, Rail is messing up that first phase.
Wow. Yeah, that's really bad. Dansta, meanwhile, is just kind of trucking along. He's looking really good to close this out. What pace is he on now? Would this be 102 still?
This could be like
103.
I think this will probably be like low 103. That's what it looks like right now.
Dansta about to take this dub over Rhea. Hopefully we can see him come in for a post-race interview after this, because like I want to see like what was kind of going through his head as he was failing mech and trying to get through this pretty otherwise good run. I'm not really sure why he's shooting fireballs. I guess to block some of that debris, but I don't know if it's really necessary. Most people don't really opt to shoot anything. So we'll see. Rhea still on this Bowser fight. Dansta up to the 2D section. You see up to the task though. We'll have to find out. 2D skip could go wrong. I wouldn't bet on it, but you never can tell. Anything can happen is probably the mantra for any race on GSA or in general for that matter. You know, it is never over until it is actually over. Until that wire shoots out from the final room, it is not over. Dansta about to be heading to that final room though. Would take a bit of a miracle for Rhea to somehow jinx Dansta into kind of messing up. Take some voodoo magic. Dansta's not playing games though. He's still on 102 pace, if I'm not mistaken. Would be pretty nuts considering some of the slip-ups he's had. And his PB is a 101.48, so he could be about a minute off his PB. Look at that fast spell though. He's missing some fireballs. He's gonna have to spend a lot of extra shots, so probably not worth the time. I don't know if he even got it in the end. Like,
yeah, he got that first pillar knocked down there. Okay. Moving on to the third.
Dansta here, last pillar, about to take a win over Rhea. Amazing showing from him, and this is getting. Yeah, see, he didn't actually get the first one.
Oh, I thought he did. I thought he did. My bad.
Yep. You're good. You know, in the later stages of this tournament, you know, maybe a 102 isn't quite gonna be like this time. Might not cut it against like a real world, like a Chaos Pringle. You know, he's not in the tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like the people like Sui and Curbs who are still up there, but you know, this is a really nice showing from Dansta, getting a 102, something that with a 101.48 is probably kind of his goal time was to get a 102 in the race, and he's done that. Rhea gonna be about a minute behind, trying to get maybe a very low 104, high 103, depending on how his pillars go. These shots look really accurate though. 5 for 5 into the fast pillar. Let's hit some GGs out for Dansta. You know, I don't want to like dwell on Rhea's mistakes, but you know, I think we can all be commiserating Rhea. You know, a bit of unfortunate circumstances with the ways he died and messed up, but equally, it's nice to see a cool run come out of someone new to top level like Dansta. Welcome to the call, Dansta, taking the win over Rhea. 102.58. How do you feel about that end time, and how did that in general?
End time was pretty good. I kind of hoped for a 102 and then the other guys. But,
Yeah.
like, wood was scary. I so thought that I'd fall down.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, mech was bad. I had a bad positioning after I heard that. And yeah.
Yeah, mech is definitely not easy, especially if you're going for target acquired, so.
Yeah. GG Rhea.
I don't think he's in the call.
Yeah, but he will hear.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about the rest of this tournament? You know, you've gone really far already. Do you think you can go even farther?
I don't know. Chaos is going to be hard. Maybe. I don't think so, but maybe.
All right. Anything from you, Cheese, James? Cheese05 Cheese?
Nah, I think we're good here.
All right. I want to thank you all for watching. Remember to check out our sponsor, Vi.gg. If legal betting agent in country where it's legal. This has been the Super Mario Odyssey any percent tournament. It's still going strong. It's not going to finish up this weekend. Going to kind of go over into kind of the next season of GSA streaming, but insane stuff so far. A nice storyline for people like Dansta to make it through the lower bracket. Hope you guys enjoyed. We're going to be going into a Super Mario 64 race between Punkation and Benji, who we saw actually take over your stream for a couple seconds there, Dan. So it's kind of funny. But that'll be coming up next, so stay tuned.
Have a good
Peace
rest of your
out.
day, guys.